Hey guys, welcome to Day Job Friday. Today we are continuing to answer some of the most popular questions that I have been asked in my 15-year career in HR, recruiting, jobs, resume building, all of that. Now, I've done it for the likes of Google and Amazon. I picked up some knowledge along the way, so I think you're going to want to subscribe because what I share with you is invaluable. So for Day Job Friday, last week I talked about the number one reason, really I think I gave like 2 reasons why companies do not give you interview feedback. It's why they don't tell you why they didn't hire you. Today we're talking all things money in the interviewing process. One of the biggest questions that I have ever been asked is, should I talk about money? Meaning, should I ask them how much this job pays? Should I tell them how much I want to make before they ask or in the application process? Let's talk about it now. So the question is, should I ask them how much the job pays? Now let's break this down because this can be very different depending on what industry you're in. If this is an hourly position, let's say it's at a grocery store or a drugstore or at a fast food chain, yes, you can totally ask how much an hour the job pays because they typically have set pay rates. So unless you have a certain level of experience, most everyone gets paid nearly the same amount. So no variance there. But if you have a profession, a career where you are, or a manager in even a fast food chain where there's a range of pay for you, how much you get is very, very negotiable. So I would say that you would want to bring this up in the interview process no matter what. Here's how you can do it. One of the ways is you can ask them after you've gone through a phone interview. Let's say you've talked to a recruiter and the recruiter asks you all these questions. A recruiter is just checking the box most of the time. They're just trying to make sure that your qualifications match the job, right? That you have what they're looking for. At the end of that conversation, if you're talking to a recruiter, you can ask, hey, is there a certain pay range for this position? Now, they may have had one posted on the job, but you want to ask her because you want to make sure, number one, that pay range hasn't changed since they posted that job. Number two, that they're really serious about hiring someone right now and they're not just getting a whole list of candidates that they're never going to hire. They just kind of have them in the back burner. So you want to see how serious they are. So that recruiter will give you a range most of the time, but sometimes they will dance. They won't give you a range and they'll say, well, that range is actually pretty negotiable. What are your salary expectations? When they ask you this question, it is very, very important. And sometimes you are gonna feel like they asked you like to strip naked because you feel super vulnerable when a company asks you. Here's what you wanna do. Depending on how skilled you are in interviewing, you can either ask a question back or just give them the answer to what they asked for. So if you want to ask a question back, you could simply say, well, actually, I was hoping you would share the range and more about the position before I shared what my expectations are. I think it would be better for me to learn more about the job before I share what I'm looking for. That way you don't have to say anything at all, or you can just tell them, hey, I'm looking for a position anywhere between 50 and 70, but my desired or my targeted pay is blank, right? So you can give them a range of what you'll accept and you can give them the target dollar amount. Now, this is very important because whatever that recruiter writes down is gonna go on your paperwork through the rest of your interview process. I know you don't want to overshoot it. If you're in a career where you can negotiate your salary, you're scared to say something too high and you're scared to say something too low. What I want you to do is consider saying something in the middle, okay? Now, once you go high, you can never bring it down. So if they say, well, actually, our range only goes up to 80,000 and you said 90, they may choose someone else. But if you stay in the middle of what you really want, you can always say, hey, after hearing more about the position, I would actually love if you guys could consider 5 or 10K more. It really depends on the company, guys. Depending on how the industry that you're in and the company you're talking to, this conversation can go a couple of ways. But hopefully what I've shared with you helps you give you a couple more skills to negotiate how you should be having this conversation with them. Make sure you're bringing it up, make sure you know what you could get paid, and that they're even offering something in the range of what you would want. Thanks so much for watching Day Job Friday. Today I gave you a couple of tips on how you can have the conversation about money at your job. There is so much more to share. I don't have time to do it all in a video, but if you have a question, please drop it in the comments. I read my comments and I love seeing y'all names pop up. So make sure you leave the question there and I would love to answer it for you in another video, or have a one-on-one session with you if you need resume, career, job advice. I am taking sessions right now, so if you would like to book one, go to ItsPriscillaB.com and leave your information in the box for booking. See ya.